Hello, beautiful friends. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming by, for sharing, sprinkling your magic here. Thanks. Thanks. Welcome to Zenful Conversations. We are here in this community every single day, and we are in year 6. Thank you for your love, for your continued commitment and contribution and support in all the many, many ways that shows up. Thanks. You are the reason it keeps going. So thank you. This year is really one of the more fascinating years. I think they have all been, it's been a nice ride. It's been a nice ride. I mean, we started, what was that? I forget what the first year was. Melody Beatty. We began with Melody Beatty, Journey to the Heart. That is the first year, and that was wonderful. And I just love how they started with the heart, and now this year we're at is being present. We've covered a lot of ground, man. We really have. Journey to the Heart by Melody Beatty is where we started. I believe that was 2019. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah. 2019, Journey to the Heart with Melody Beatty. 2020, we had the Mindful Year with we followed that book, A Mindful Year, written and offered to us by those two beautiful doctors, Dr. Seth J. Gillihan and Dr. Arya Campbell Danesh, remember? And we had them back to even speak with us after that year. That was really good. That was fantastic. That year is the year that COVID came by. And it was really nice to be talking about mindfulness during that whole year. We took that one step further in 2021, and we discussed living the law of attraction. And we talked about a myriad of ways to raise our energy and vibration. And we had a lot of coverage. There were several books that year. That year had a lot of different books in it. 2022, we said, well, you know what? This is all well and good, but ain't nothing happening without self-discipline. So 2022, we had a year of self-discipline, 365 days conversation on self-discipline. And really it changed my relationship with the whole terminology. And that's what these conversations have the power to do, is to change our relationship with whatever we're talking about. That's why it's been so pretty cool that we're talking about being present this year. So that was 2022, was the self-discipline, 365 days of self-discipline, which were a few different books involved in that. But the main one we followed was the title, 365 Days of Self-Discipline by, I think it was Martin Meadows. Interesting. That was an interesting book, I'll say. Triggered many triggers for me. I even put it down for a while. Didn't read some of them. We read some other books and we came back to all focused around self-discipline though. Last year, we went over thriving as an empath. And that included self-care on our very real energetic level. And that is real important. And here we are now talking about being present for our own lives. They all lace together and I really like it. The Book of Awakening by Mark NEPO is the book we're taking a look at this year. We're listening to, we're learning from, we're absorbing and receiving messages, meditating with. How does it come in? The Book of Awakening by Mark NEPO, New York Times best-selling book, described as having the life you want by being present to the life you have. And the message we are offered today, this day number 2025, is titled Bird Rock. Bird Rock. And there's a quote here offered to us by Georgia O'Keeffe. That says, maybe that's why I want to touch people so often. It's only another way of talking. I was aching and vulnerable, feeling far from home, when through the harsh shore wind, I saw a large rock surrounded by the rough, churned up sea. The rock was covered with all kinds of animals: willet, gull, sea lion, seal, pelican, otter. All of them had found refuge from the hammering of the sea, climbing, winging, hauling themselves on that rock, living together, laying on each other, finding this rock oasis of wind and sun. Too tired once on the rock to fight, each having been wrung out by the pounding of the wet hours. I realized this is how the wounded find their way, how we have found each other, even in this book. Every survivor, regardless of what they survive, knows the hammering of the sea. And the rock we find refuge on is an exposed place where we finally accept each other. Too tired from swimming to think any longer about territories. Too tired to talk except through simple touch. The wellness group I attend weekly, the wellness group I attended weekly was such a rock. The meeting rooms of recovery are such a rock. The 1,000 quiet rooms of therapy are such a rock. For those who have suffered, tolerance is not a political position or even a principle. For those of us who have suffered, who have hauled ourselves into the sun, anything exhausted beside us is family. Ooh, that's when you realize you are all one. It makes me think of here. There's a couple communities in in Sarasota that the Hurricane Debbie uh, really did some major damage with friends of mine, even to where whole communities were wiped out. They have to take the drywall down. Everything in their house was ruined. They absolutely have to start over. Have to cut away the drywall in the house, and you see the communities come together. And I've been involved in many hurricanes living in Southeast Florida for as long as I did. And it's definitely interesting how the whole community comes together. It's different. It's different. Slowly goes back to the way it was. But every survivor, regardless of what they survive, knows the hammering of the sea. I do suspect some of the hammering is stronger than others, different times, different situations, but I would think we all have faced this rough sea at some point. So we are survivors, regardless of what they survive. The meditative exercise that we're offered today asks us to center ourselves. So take a breath to do that. Center yourself and imagine this moment as a rock that you've climbed out. Imagine this moment as a rock you've climbed on out of your suffering. Okay, center yourself and imagine this moment as a rock that you've climbed on out of your suffering. Let's feel it. Breathe deeply and feel the momentary peace from the hammering of your days. Feel the momentary peace. I like noticing those momentary peace when you're having some troubled days. Let yourself smile with it. Open your heart to see if others you know spend time here too. And if someone in particular comes to mind, be open to talking with them about this. Do we hear that? That's intuition talking. Imagine this moment as a rock that you've climbed on out of your suffering. Breathe deeply and feel the momentary peace from the hammering of your days. Open your heart to see if others you know spend time here. And if someone in particular comes to mind, be open to talking with them about all this. Mm. Breathe into that space. Slow, long, long, slow exhale out your mouth. Relax the face as you exhale. Mm. And gratitude. Thankful for you, for Mark NEPO and his wonderful message. Please visit zenfulconversations.com. We have a couple great guest speakers coming up for a free Zoom conversation, which you are invited to. Just please go to zenfulconversations.com and sign up for that Zoom link. In deep gratitude, and we will see you tomorrow. Namaste. Namaste.